Hey guys, my name is Brooke and today I'll be taking you through a Pilates Matwork class where we'll focus on opening out through our hips and creating some stability and a sense of openness through our pelvis. I'll be using a yoga block today. If you don't have access to a yoga block or you're finding it too harsh for this lesson, then I would suggest either using a Pilates ball or a towel rolled up, or feel free to not even use a prop at all. Okay, today we're going to start in a supine position, so just laying all the way down, resting your head nice and heavy onto the mat, and then we're going to lift our pelvis up and just place the block towards the back ribs, so where the floating ribs would sit here. The one edge of the block will go there, and then the other edge of the block is just resting where your sacrum is. So we have the block towards, well, kind of in our lumbar spine there. Okay, feet are heavy on the mat, shoulder blades are down. Placing your palms onto your hips, heels of the palms onto your hip bones, fingertips are pointing down towards your pubic bone. And just take a deep inhale here. And exhale. Let's go two more. And exhale. Breathing through your belly, inhale. And exhale. Okay, we're going to start to add some movement here. So on your inhale breath, just gently tilt your pelvis forwards just a little bit over the edge of the yoga block. And then just roll your pelvis back up towards your nose. So we're working through our anterior and posterior tilt of the pelvis, creating some space towards the back of your pelvis. Creating some space all the way through our sacroiliac joint. Good. Our lumbar spine. And as I mentioned at the start, if the yoga block feels a little bit too much for you today, you can still complete this same movement with a ball, a towel, or no prop at all. And it will still feel really yummy and delicious. As we're moving through this movement, see if you can soften through your hips a little bit more. Soften through your hamstrings. And just allow your pelvis to move through this. And you'll start to feel a little more movement as you continue. So you'll start to feel a little bit more of an anterior tilt forwards as we start to soften, and maybe a little bit more of a posterior tilt back. There we go. Inhale, coming forwards. And exhale, coming back. Let's see if we can go two more here. Feel free to allow your ribs to travel with your pelvis. I just really want to focus on creating a nice big movement through the pelvis. Forwards, last one here, coming back. Excellent. Just finding a neutral position. Lift your pelvis up. We're just going to turn the block and place the block on one side of the pelvis. So I've got the block on the right side of my pelvis, and I can just feel my left glute off the block. We're still in a nice neutral position to start, but the left glute is floating away from the block. Placing your hands back onto your pelvis, now we start to lower that left hip down, and the right hip will lift up gently here. And then we come back, find a nice neutral position. So we come down, left hip over the block so it comes off, and then the right hip comes back down and we find a neutral position. Feel free to use your right hand for a little guidance. So feel that right hip lift up to the ceiling, feel your left hip come down and back to the center. So I'm just actually guiding my pelvis over the yoga block and back to the center. Let's do 2 more here, guiding the pelvis down, back to the center. Last one, guide that pelvis down, back to the center. Excellent. Let's swap the yoga block over. So it's coming over to the left side of your pelvis now. Cool. We have our hands on our hips. So you want to be nice and firm here and just gently ease the right side of the pelvis down. Feel free to lift the left hip up and over a little more and then come back to a nice neutral position. Coming over and back up. Now you're allowed to allow your knees, you can let your knees follow the movement here, but we do want to try and keep our femur in that nice straight position. So we're really wanting just to focus on the pelvis moving here rather than other parts of the body moving the pelvis. Good, easing that right hip down. Just gently push your left hip up. Well done. Let's see if we can do 1 more here, easing it down. Feels super yummy. Might feel a little stiff, might feel a little unnatural as well, moving your pelvis in this direction. Well done. Finding your neutral position. Let's lift the pelvis up, place the block to the side, come all the way down, sacrum is nice and heavy. Now from here, we're going to come into our posterior tilt forwards, then we'll come over to the right, tilt back up. So we'll start to create some circles or pelvic clocks with the pelvis. So you can think pubic bone 6 o'clock, right hip 3 o'clock, belly button 12 o'clock, and your left hip 9 o'clock. And we're just trying to hit all faces of the clock with our pelvis. So creating nice big circles. It might feel a little stiff if you're not used to this kind of movement. Let's go in the opposite direction now, but we should definitely feel a little bit more space, a little bit more movement in that pelvis after using that yoga block or that prop if you used one. Now you can still allow your hands to guide your pelvis. Your hands are a great feedback. You're kind of giving yourself a little bit more tactile cueing by using your own hands. There we go. Let's do 1 more in this direction. And then finding your neutral pelvis. Take your block now, lift your pelvis up and just place that block just at the back of your pelvis. So we don't want it to be too high up, just at the back of your pelvis there. So we're just resting. Excellent. Okay, we're going to take our right ankle and we're going to fold and bend it under our left knee and just allow that right knee to sink down. And you should start to feel a really delicious stretch all the way through the front of that right quad, that right hip flexor. And then just gently take your left knee out to the side. And that should feel absolutely divine, opening through your pelvis, opening through the fronts of your hips. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. And with each exhale breath, just allow your body to ease more into that stretch. Allow the right knee to fall heavier down to the mat. just bring your knees up and we'll swap those legs over. So that left knee will bend, we'll lower the left knee down, and the right knee will come out to the side. I'm a little more tighter in my left side, so this is quite tender for me. Taking some deep breaths now. If you would like a little more with this stretch, you can always grab a hold of that bottom foot and pull it closer towards your glutes, and you'll feel that deep stretch all the way through the front of your quad. Last breath here. Well done. Just folding the knees in, plant your feet on the mat, lift your pelvis up, bring your legs into a tabletop position, yoga block in between your ankles. So we want to give that yoga block a nice squeeze. Make sure it's not on the bony part, so make sure it's just in the muscle there. Legs are in your tabletop position. And I want you to soften your back ribs down into the mat, pulling your navel towards your spine. Reach your arms up. Take a deep inhale breath. Then on your exhale, we just start to come into a chest lift, reaching your arms forwards. Open through the collarbones, we start to pump the arms up and down. We work through our 100s here. We want to keep lifting the rib cage off, but pull your navel down into your spine. Take a deep inhale for 5 counts. And exhale for 5. Keep moving with that breath pattern there. So 5 counts in, 5 counts out. If you would like a little bit more, extend your legs long. Try not to lose that stability in your spine. Keep pulling the navel down, reaching the legs long. Squeeze the yoga block. Feel those adductors work. You'll get direct TA activation as we work through those adductors. Broaden through your collarbones. Keep breathing here. Pumping the arms up and down. We've got 2 more rounds. Well done. Last round. Bend the knees in, lower down. Well done. Taking the yoga block, placing it between your knees now. Interlace your fingers, take your hands behind your head, rest your head down. Pelvis is heavy. Bring your elbows up to your peripheral vision. Take a deep inhale breath. Then exhale, we start to lift the chest up. Eye gaze comes forward, soften the shoulders away from your ears, lower back down. So your abdominals should feel a little more tender now as we move through our chest lift. Body should be feeling a little warmer after our 100s. You want to feel your hands pull your skull up to the ceiling, so creating a little traction there between the skull and your hands. Eye gaze is coming just towards your pubic bone and lower down. As we come up into our chest lift, we want to think about creating as much flexion through the thoracic spine as we can. So the more flexion we have in our thoracic spine, the higher we'll be able to come up into our pelvic curl. Well, I wouldn't say higher, but the more we'll be able to round forwards in our pelvic curl, and you'll find a little bit more of a deeper abdominal work. Excellent. Exhale, coming up and down. See for your next one, if you can round a little further forwards, think about the elbows dragging you down. Good. See if you can soften through the front of your ribs as you come up. So we want to imagine our rib cage floating down towards the mat. So our ribs always follow our vertebrae. We come up, ribs close together. They wrap around our spine. We lower down and we create space in between our ribs. Let's go 2 more here. Rolling up, coming back down. Last one, we're going to hold this chest lift now. Well done. Take a deep inhale and exhale. 2 more breaths. Last one. And coming all the way down. Well done, guys. Let's take our yoga block into our hands now. I want you to squeeze the yoga block in between your palms. We feel the scapulars contract at the back there. Arms are long. Inhale, breath. Lengthen the arms behind your head. Keep squeezing the yoga block. Feel your triceps start to switch on here. Bring it back. Exhale, just in line with your sternum. Arms are nice and long, squeezing the yoga block. Lengthen your arms behind your head. And bring it back up, exhale. So I want you to use your inhale breath to create length here. Lengthening through your arms. Keep squeezing the yoga block as much as we can. Exhale, bring it back up. Well done. Coming back. And up. Let's take our legs to a tabletop position if that feels good for you. Good. Keep softening the back ribs down. That's it. Now when you're ready, same movement. Inhale, reach it behind. Feel the traction between the hands and the yoga block. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, lengthen behind. Exhale, bring it back up. Good. Being mindful of where your shoulder blades are sitting, so making sure your shoulder blades aren't reaching up towards your ears. We want our scapulars to stay as close to the mat as they can. Keep squeezing that block. Should really start to feel your triceps now a little more, even your biceps. Good. Reach, 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 reach. Bring it back. Well done. On our next one here, we're going to hold the arms back. So our biceps are in line with our ears. We hold. Keep squeezing the block. Holding here for 3, for 2, for 1, bring the arms back up. Well done. Feet come down, extend your legs long, press your heels into the mat and reach your toes towards your nose. We float the arms behind, inhale, breath. Exhale, we start to find our roll up, reaching forwards. Reach for your toes, maintain this beautiful curved position of the spine, roll back, pubic bone pulls towards your nose, arms reach behind. Exhale, rolling forwards. Try to keep your arms in line with the rest of your body. So we're not wanting to use our arms for that momentum. Coming down. So the arms, the block just follows. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Rolling up. You'll notice that when you're not using your arms, it might feel a little bit more challenging here. Reaching forwards, rolling down. Good. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. So think about connecting your scapula, your shoulder blade, back towards your spine. It's wrapping around your spinal column. Reach, 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 reach. Rolling down, keeping that beautiful curvature of the spine, especially in that lumbar. Exhale, coming forwards. Reach, reach, reach. Pull your ribs to the back of the room. Imagine you're folding over a beach ball. Reach, 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 and restack the spine. Well done. We're going to separate our feet now. Keep the block in your hands, reach your arms forwards. Now if it feels a little uncomfortable to have your legs straight, just come into a bent knee position here and you'll be able to find a little bit more of a lift of your pelvis, yeah? Extend your legs long if that feels good for you. Take a deep inhale. Then on your exhale, we're going to reach the yoga block forwards. Good, forwards, forwards, forwards. And we find that curvature of the tummy. We reach forwards, 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 and then we restack. Inhale. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. Imagine someone's pulling your arms forwards, but then you're also being pulled to the back of the room. We find that stretch forwards. Stretch, stretch, stretch through the spine. Restack. Stretch, 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 reach, 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 reach. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Reach forwards. Reach a little further forwards. And back up. Reach. Stretch forwards. That's it. Good. Imagine someone's pulling your hands forwards, but also pulling your ribs back. And up. Last one here. Stretch, 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 stretch. And restack. Excellent. Bring your feet back together. Roll yourself all the way back down. Arms reach up to the ceiling. From here, we reach our right leg long into our 90-degree position. See if you can stretch your left leg a little longer. Imprint that heel into the mat. From here, we start to take the right leg across the body out to the side. We're working through our lovely circles, leg circles. So trying to keep the yoga block in line with your sternum. We've got 2 more in this direction. Try not to use the momentum of the leg. Last one. Let's go in the other direction now. So there's a lot of work through the quad, through the hip, through the tummy. So keeping the pelvis steady. And you'll start to notice as you move through Pilates how important pelvic clocks are to really get these movements through your hips. Good. Lower the right leg down. Left leg comes up. We cross over the body. So the idea is to try and get that femur to move effortlessly, freely through that hip socket, around and around. I'm a little bit more wonky on my left side. I find it a little bit more challenging. Well done. Okay, other direction now. Still trying to keep that yoga block in line with your sternum, around and around. There we go. Well done. Good, 2 more. And bring it back down. Excellent job. Take the yoga block to the side for now. Press your hands into the mat. We're going to bring our legs up to a tabletop position here and then extend the legs up to the ceiling. So you can have bent knees here. There's no need to lock out through the joints, so just find where it feels most comfortable for you. Broaden through the collarbones, press your triceps into the mat, press your hands into the mat. We're going to work through our roll over. So we just start to take the legs behind our head. Our pelvis lifts away from the mat. We want to feel our hamstrings lift to the ceiling, and we really want to feel our navel pull towards our spine. We have our toes pointed. Now we flex our toes, separate the legs, and from this position, we lengthen the tailbone back down along the mat. Try to keep your shoulders nice and still. We circle at the bottom, join the legs together, and lift, flex. Roll, 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 lengthen, point, bring it back up, flex, roll, 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 bring it back up. Well done, flex, roll, roll, roll down, together, up, flex. That's it. Okay, let's go in the other direction now. So we separate the bottom, flex your toes,
Bring it together. Point, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the tailbone. Imagine someone's pulling your tailbone down, which create as much length as we can. Separate, flex, up, bring it together. Try to keep the crown of your head down, shoulder blades down. It's easy for the skull to want to lift away from the mat. There we go. Lengthen the legs as far as you can behind, stretch, navel's pulling in, roll, lengthen, 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 lengthen. Last one here, out, bring it together, point the toes, lengthen the tailbone all the way down and rest. Great job. Okay, taking your yoga block again, place the yoga block in between your knees. And we want to get those adductors to start to switch on here. Heels are in line with your sit bones, fingertips are reaching forwards, and we broaden through the collarbones. We want our triceps to be pressing into the mat. From here, let's come into our pelvic curl, lifting the pelvis up. Lengthen your knees forwards. Imagine you've got someone pulling your knees forwards away from your body. Feel the stretch for the front of your legs. Find that posterior tilt. So think pubic bone coming up towards your nose or pulling up towards 12 o'clock. And then from here, we start to roll the spine down from the top of your spine. And we want our tailbone to be the very last thing to find the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Rolling up, 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 up. Find the traction of the heels pulling towards your seat and your thighs are lengthening forwards. Broaden your collarbones. Soften the ribs. Roll down, 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 down. Well done. Let's go 3 more here. Rolling up. Pull your heels towards your seat. Feel your knees lengthen forwards. Slight tuck of the tailbone under. Roll down. Try to maintain that posterior tilt all the way down till you reach the bottom. 2 more. Rolling up. Knees lengthen forwards. Triceps are pressing into the mat. Collarbones broaden. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Roll back down. Good. Let's go 1 more here. Rolling up. Lengthen the knees forwards. Soften through your feet. Notice if you're using your toes to dig into the mat. See if you can soften your toes. Press your heels in. Roll down. Keep lengthening, 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 lengthening. Think like your rollover, how you lengthen the spine to come down. Well done. We're going to take that block now and just place that block under your left foot. Excellent. All right, same position here, but this time we extend our right leg up towards the ceiling. Remember, it doesn't matter if you have a bent knee. We're going to lift our pelvis up. We want to feel that sense of stretch with the front of that left thigh. We lower the right knee down in line with our left knee, and then we sweep it up. 1. Lower down, sweep, 2. Lower down, sweep, 3. Bum comes down. Well done. Lifting up. Find that stretch. Lengthen the right leg forwards. 1. Lengthen. 2. Lengthen. 3. Up. Lower down. Good. Lifting up. Reach. Lengthen. 1. Lengthen. 2. Lengthen. 3. Back up to the ceiling. Lower down. Last one here. Lifting up. Reach. Lengthen. 1. Lengthen. 2. Lengthen. 3. And lower back down. Well done. Let's swap that block right over to the right foot. Press the right foot down. Imprint your shoulders. Extend your left leg up to the ceiling. Lift your pelvis. Feel that length through the front of that right leg. We stretch the left leg forwards. We lift 1. We lift 2. We lift 3. Lower down. And up. Lengthen forwards 1. Lengthen forwards 2. Soften the ribs. 3. Back up. Down. There we go. Keep softening the ribs. Up. Lengthen 1. Lengthen 2. Lengthen 3. Back up. Well done. Last one here. Lifting up. Soften the ribs. 1, 2, 3. Lowering down. Well done. Alrighty guys, just take your hands behind your knees, roll yourselves up to a seated position. Yoga block will come to the side for now. We're going to step our right foot to the outside of the mat. So we're in a slight open through the hip. So we're on a slight angle here. Right foot will come out. Hands are just behind your head. And we're going to create that traction again through the skull. We lunge over those right toes. And we bring it back in. Opening through the pelvis. Feels really good after what we just did. Bring it back in. Open, open, open. Bring it back in. Open. And back in. Well done. Open. Feel that stretch through the adductors, the hips. Last one. Nice work. Coming all the way back. We then swap our legs over. Left foot comes out to the side, so we're on that angle. And we're just going to lunge over the left toes. Bring it back in. Lunging open, open through the pelvis. Bring it back. Bring it back. See if you can push your left knee out to the side a little bit more. Really opening through the hips and those adductors. Bring it back in. Last one. Well done. Okay, we're going to take our yoga block again and we just place our left knee on top of that yoga block. Place your right foot forwards. Excellent. You can tuck your left toes, press your heel to the back of the room. You'll feel a stretch through the bottom of that foot. Tailbone is tucking under, so again, think about that posterior tilt just slightly. We just don't want to be working in this position here. So we want a little bit more of a posterior tilt so we can create some more length for the front of that left leg. Toes are tucked. Crown of the head is aiming towards the ceiling. Let's place our hands back behind our head. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, we just lift up into our standing split position. We lower back down. Maintain that posterior tilt and you'll find a wonderful stretch, lengthening through the front of that left hip, coming down. Lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. There we go. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep tucking the tailbone under. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Pull the skull up to the ceiling as you lift. Use your hands. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. That's it. Each time you come up into your standing position, really press the left hamstring back. Find that stretch. Let's go 2 more. And up. Well done. Last one here, and up. Holding it here. Bend your right knee forwards. We want that right knee to be in line with our right ankle. Chest is coming forwards. Lift your ribs up. From here, we float our left leg away from the mat. We pull that left knee in and we extend. Inhale, pull. Lift through the lower abdominals and extend. There we go, stretch. Inhale, pull. Exhale, extend, stretch the leg. 2 more. Pull, stretch the leg. Last one. Pull, stretch the leg long, and coming back down, lower your knee to the block. Well done. Right knee will come down. Let's swap that block over. Right knee comes onto the block now. Step your left foot forwards. Tailbone tucks under. We want to feel again that stretch all the way through the front of that right quad, that right hip. Take your hands behind your head. Create some traction. Lift the skull up to the ceiling. Back toes are tucked. Right heel is pressing back. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, we lift, extend the legs, push the right hamstring away, lower back down. Maintain that posterior tilt of the pelvis, lift and stretch. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and stretch. Inhale, lower. There we go. Exhale, lift and stretch. Pull the ribs back. Good. Ribs pull back. Tailbone tucks under. Stretch the back leg. Good. And up. Down. That's it. 2 more. Whoa, nearly lost my balance. Keep lifting up tall. Well done. Reach the chest forwards. You'll feel your right toes want to hover away from the mat. From here, let's pull the right knee in, exhale. Inhale, lengthen behind. Exhale, pull, pull, pull. Inhale, lengthen behind. Good. Exhale, pull. That's it. Inhale, lengthen and stretch the legs. That's it. Stretch the right leg behind. And stretch. Well done. Last 2. Oh, losing my balance. That's it. Soften through that left foot. Last one. In. Pressing out. Stretch. Land the toes down. Knee comes onto the yoga block. Well done. Placing the yoga block to the side now. Come to the back end of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Take your deep inhale. Exhale, we dive forwards. Now I want you to imagine you're diving over a picket fence. Keep your toes, keep the weight towards your toes. Keep pulling the back ribs up to the ceiling. You'll feel your hamstrings engage. Good, rolling forwards. Now from here, starting from your tailbone, we glide the tailbone under. We lift up. Imagine you being scooped up as you roll up. Arms come up. Deep inhale. Exhale, dive forwards. Keep the weight towards your toes. Separate all 10 toes. Rib cage lifts up towards the ceiling. It's still creating a little bit of a stretch through the spine, but I want you to also focus on the flexion of the spine. Well done. Okay, pausing at the bottom here, we walk our hands out. Hands come under our shoulders. We find our plank. Good, lift the navel up towards your spine. Strong through your arms. Now from here we lower the chest down. We lift the chest up. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Lower, lift, keep the core on. Lower, lift, walk your hands back to your toes, rolling up. Reach your arms, inhale. Exhale, dive forwards. Weight is in your toes, soften the shoulders. Fingertips find the mat. We walk forwards. Hands are under our shoulders. Tummy is on. We've got 3 push-ups. 1. Good. 2. That's it. 3. Back up. Walk the hands. Rolling up. Last round here. Now if you need to come onto your knees for your push-ups, please feel free to do so. There is no pressure to do your push-ups on your toes. It is really challenging. Good. Walk your hands forwards. Find your plank. Good. Navel lifts up towards your spine. Eye gaze towards your fingertips. Let's lower and lift. 1. Lower, lift 2. Lower, lift 3. Hold your plank and lower your knees. Well done. We're going to come down onto our belly now. Taking your yoga block, take your hands around your yoga block, lengthen your legs long. Now, if you need a little bit more space for your lumbar spine, if you feel like it gets a little crunchy here, just separate your feet. If you'd like, you can keep your feet more parallel. Elbows are nice and wide. Pubic bone is pressing into the mat. Feel your lower stomach lift away and feel the back of your legs engage. So pressing the fronts of your feet in, knees lift, back legs engage. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, we start to lift the sternum up. We're using the yoga block for a little bit more assistance, a bit more feedback, and we lower down. And lift. Sternum comes forwards, lower down. Keep anchoring that pubic bone. We've got 2 more here. Anchor the pubic bone. Good. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, anchor your pubic bone. Glide the sternum up. Feel your ribs lift away or glide up away from the mat. Lower down. Last one here. Gliding up, 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 up. And lowering down. Well done. We're going to come up onto our forearms. Elbows are under our shoulders. And we feel our sternum reach forwards in between our biceps here. Anchor the pubic bone down. There we go. Now from here we're going to bend our right knee up towards our glute and extend that leg long. Good, so we just go for the right, bend and extend. Feel a little lift of your knee, of your quad, away from the mat. Back and in. Good, keep gliding the sternum forwards. Keep the core on. Now let's keep that right knee bent and see how you go, just lifting the quad away from the mat, lower back down. So we're working through that hip extension on that right side. Keep pressing the mat away with your forearms. Keep the core on. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. See how much of a lift you can get. Lift and lower. Last one. Lift and lower. Extend. Let's move on to the left. So anchor your pubic bone. Bring your left heel towards your left glute and press away. Bring it in. Press away. Bring it in. Press away. That's it. Bring it in, feel the knee lift a little away from the mat, press away. So we're trying to find that length through the front of that left hip. Finding that length. Pubic bone presses into the mat. Chest is coming forwards. Great. Last one here. Hold that bent knee position and just glide the knee away from the mat and lower. Lift, lower. Imprint the pubic bone. Lift, lower. Good. You might find that you have a slightly less hip extension in one leg. Try to anchor the opposite hip bone down. So anchoring your right hip bone down. Last one here. And extend. Okay, moving into our single leg kick. So we bring that right leg up, flex the toes, kick, kick, point. Good. Kick, kick, point. Kick, kick, point. Kick, kick, point. So kick, kick, point. When you kick, flex your toes, point. Try to find that lift of the knee away from the mat, pubic bones anchoring in, and we try to keep our pelvis as steady as possible. Sternum is shining forwards and extend. Kick, kick, extend. Kick, kick, extend. Kick, kick, extend. Lift the knee and extend. Good. Anchor the pubic bone. That's it. Last one. And lower down. Well done. Place the yoga block to the side. Take your left hand out to the side. Rest on your left ear and bring that right heel towards your right glute. Slight lift of that right knee away from the mat and just feel that lovely stretch through that right thigh. You can lower that right knee down. You can lift it up. Press the right foot into your right hand and lower. There we go. And lift. And lower. Well done. Lower that right foot down. Come to the other side. Bring that left heel into your glute. Lengthen that right leg and just see if you can find a nice juicy stretch. Gently lift the knee away from the mat. Press that left foot into your left hand. Lower down. And we want to feel that lovely length through the front of that hip. Well done. 2 more here, just easing that leg up. Keep pressing that foot into the hand. Last one. Excellent. Lower that leg down, take your hands by your side. Bring the big toes together. Take the knees wide and just send your bottom back. Good, and just allow the sit bones to really come down into your heels. Maybe rock yourself from side to side. Feeling that sense of openness through the hips, through the sacrum, through the pelvis. And just coming back to your breath here. A little rock from side to side. Let's take a deep inhale and exhale breath.
Making your way all the way up to your seated position. And you guys are all done for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would love to see from me. Thank you.